What's up, guys? Welcome back. In the last episode, I showed you my early model W108 1968 Mercedes, the new project here on the channel. And I basically cleaned it up, took delivery of it, basically talked about the project, the quick timeline in order to get this car bagged and build suspension for it in time for Alpine Volks Fair in Helen, Georgia, which is about 2 weeks away now. So since everything's not bolt-in, and I decided not to buy a prefabricated bracket and cup kit for this car. I wanted to build it myself here, which I've done in the past. As I mentioned in the last episode, I've done a few of these cars. But what's limiting is my new shop here in Chattanooga. I'm still in the process of getting this shop set up, whereas back home in New Hampshire, I worked out of my father's shop, and he has a lifetime worth of shop implements and tooling. I also showed you guys in the last episode this bungee cord exhaust hanger that is just not okay. This guy here held on with a bungee cord. So I went and picked up some exhaust hangers because this is all it needed. It needs 4 in the back here on the muffler. But today's episode is basically going to be going through all the air suspension stuff. So I'll get everything from Bag Riders Unboxed, show you guys what I'm going to be using for management, the bags themselves, and how I'm going to go about building the brackets and the cups for the front and rear of this car. All right, guys, so I am working with the Wheel Price guys on a set of wheels for the Mercedes in time for Alpine Volks Fair in Helen, which is just under 2 weeks away now. So what we're trying to do is we're going to have you guys list your wheels for sale on the app, and I'm going to be searching the app throughout the day, every day, hopefully leading up until there's enough time to acquire and have wheels shipped here for the Mercedes in time. So as we speak, there's probably about a week and a half left to go. Any PCD, I'm okay with getting spacers and adapters. These cars can fit pretty much any width up to about 9.5, any spec. I can work with anything. So get your wheels listed on the app. The links to download the app, which is free for Android and iOS devices, are in the video's description below. We're trying to work together. It's a very, very last second thing, but we're really excited to see like who comes out, who gets on the app, and what kind of wheels show up on the app. And while you're listing your wheels, who knows? You might even find a set that's for sale. That's a set of wheels you've been looking everywhere for, and you haven't found them anywhere else. Box number 1, I believe, is the compressor. All right, so this here is one of the newer Via Air compressors, or at least new to me. I haven't used this one yet. This is the 485, and the top of the cylinder head is significantly flatter than the Via Airs of late that I've been using. And it's got a really cool look to it. I'll get into what else is in the box, as you can probably already tell. But they did throw in a few other Via Air tools, which is cool. Again, inflation fitting, just got like an air gun nozzle. That'll be cool because I do plan on putting an air chuck on the tank in this car, as I have with the 700, the Corvair, and all my other bagged cars. I always put an air chuck on the tank. That way, if I can carry a hose and some simple inflation implements like that. For the management itself, going with the Airlift 3P system. Again, I think this is going to be the 5th or 6th car that I've put on Airlift 3P or 3H. I put the height sensors in 2 of the cars. I did the height sensors in my E23 7 Series and the Lada, the Russian car that I'd imported, which actually is the first video on this channel. Is kind of a walk-around video of my 1972 Russian Lada 2101 on BBS E76s that I had for the summer of 2018. But 3P, I've not had a single issue in any of the cars. The Corvair has been on the 3P system since they came out with it in 2015. Got all your user guides, installation guides, comes with the ECU manifold, the hardwired controller, all of your little plastic tools and wiring connections. Comes with the harness. The best thing about this harness is if you're going off the pressure system first, these connections here are for later use if you end up going to the height sensors. Some of you guys know that with my laser business here at Ludwig's Garage, I make custom laser cut and laser engraved manifold plate covers. Like the one in the Corvair here, I've got a brushed gold that engraves black Ludwig's Garage plate on this one. So for the tank, I'm using something that I've never used before. And again, Zach at Bag Riders was kind of talking to me about this tank. He wasn't really trying to sell me on it, but he's just giving me like another option that this is a new tank that had been on the market for a little bit. And this is called Square Tank. And actually, let me get it open and I'll show you guys. So this thing's pretty cool. It's super light. This one's the 3-gallon. They make a 5-gallon that I think is about 30 inches wide or so, maybe a little less. But this is the 3-gallon. The end caps are really cool. These are what make it square. Makes it stand up on its own. It's not like a round tank where you need legs. But it leaves a bunch of options for mounting with these crossbars. With all the fittings on the back, which allow you to have a really clean setup with no fittings out the side or out the front. Everything here is on the back. So here are the bags themselves. I am running the Slam Specialties SS5s. These are the bags that I ran in my 1960 Fintail and also in the 66 W108 that I helped a friend in England bag years ago. So I'm going to run those front and rear. I think I ran SS6s in the back of the Fintail, but they were overkill. I only ran 6s because they were a larger diameter spring in the back, even though the front of the car is heavier than the back. So SS5s all around. It's a dual bellow bag. Maximum PSI is like 250, which is a ton. I mean, I think you hit maximum extension at 150. These are a great bag. I'm running 2 of the SS5s in the back of the 700 as well. What I've decided to do, this is where the fabrication aspect of this project comes into play. Guys like Twisted Images, Phil at Twisted Images, and a few other people sell kits that they make themselves for bolt-in kits for these W108s. And basically, it's a bracket cup kit that comes ready to bolt to the bottom of the bag and the top of the bag, and then you basically install it into the car as if you would putting the springs back in. But I've decided to make those since I've made them for a few other cars myself, and it'd be better content for the channel to use some of my new tools here in the shop to make that stuff. Since I'm not home in New Hampshire and have access to my father's 4x8 foot Arclight Dynamics plasma cutter, the CNC plasma cutter table, I didn't have an opportunity to get him to make plates. And what these are basically what I would have had my father build. I've already designed some DXF files of the SS5 brackets. Those are the bottom brackets. And these are the tops that have the slots for the air fitting, because that's a 1/2-inch port in these. I want to show you guys this as well. A full original toolkit in the car, which is amazing. I mean, not too surprising since it's basically a one-owner car, but everything that came with it came with a little fuse box with the Mercedes emblem engraved on it or embossed on it. Even the wrenches are all Mercedes. Everything's stamped. Pretty incredible. Even the breaker bar is stamped. Wrenches are stamped. Pretty cool. Even the Allen wrench says made in West Germany. So this is a really cool piece to have in the back of that car. But also like a lot of really cool like 1960s and 70s pieces. Like this is an ice scraper. I mean, the car is from California, but this has a Lake Tahoe ice scraper. So cool. And this 1970s gold matchbox. This stuff is so cool. All right, guys, so it's the next day. I'm starting on taking the interior out and working on running the harness at least. Before I get it up and pull the wheels and start pulling suspension, I'm gonna start running the wiring harness. And what I'm running inside the car is gonna be key power to the fuse panel underneath the dash and the line for the controller. All right, guys, so the car is wired. Key power underneath the dash is all hooked up. Harness is run out to the battery from the trunk. I've got the front seat back in. The back seats are going to stay out for now because I'm going to deep clean those while those are out. I don't think they've ever been out of the car. But ran the harness, key power, and the controller wire all down through the factory door thresholds where all the factory harnessing is run. So it's all OEM. There's no signs that anything aftermarket is in there. And all that's left now for the wiring aspect is to get the management sorted out and where I'm going to mount everything there. And so yeah, I think next step is going to be getting it up on jack stands because I don't have a lift in here yet, and start pulling factory suspension. And my father just so happens to be in town from New Hampshire to pick up the 24 valve Dodge that I helped him pick up in Knoxville. So he's done some maintenance to that in the last couple of days and is about to hit the 1,200 mile drive home to New Hampshire. But while he's here, oddly enough, he's here while I'm in the middle of working on this thing. So he's a great extra set of hands to help me kind of get this thing going. We just went to a local steel yard as well and got some materials for building the bag brackets and cups as well. But that'll all be in the next episode. So for here, going to end this one here. Good look at the management and a good start on the wiring of the car. Next episode will be pulling all the factory suspension and maybe some fabrication goods. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.